100% need that comparison, bro. I need that comparison ASAP. Please, full review of Legion 5i, especially its thermal screen quality, build quality. Thanks, you're awesome. Do the body comparison, please. Thank you. Comparison we want. Hello world, Dev here. Here it is, my comparison video on the Lenovo Legion 5 versus the HP Omen 15. Clearly this is a video that you guys definitely want, so I'm gonna do my best to give you a good all-around comparison between these two devices and which one that I think you should buy. Quick rundown of the specs. Both of these laptops come with an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660 Ti, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 MHz RAM, 512GB NVMe M.2 SSDs, and the Ryzen 7 4800H processor in the HP Omen 15, followed by the Intel 10th generation 10750H in the Lenovo Legion 5. And both laptops do come with 15.6-inch 1080p IPS panels, but there are a few differences here between these two variants. Most notably, the Ryzen variant HP Omen 15 here has a 144Hz 300 nits brightness, 72% NTSC color accuracy rated panel, while at least the Intel variant of the Legion 5 that I have here comes with a bit of a lesser quality screen, clocking in at 250 nits of peak brightness with a slightly lower 120Hz refresh rate and a 45% NTSC color accuracy rating. Alright, and as usual, starting out with the build quality. The Omen 15 definitely gives us a lot to love here with the aesthetics, the very simple and clean look, and might I say, probably one of the sleekest and most minimalistic designs here I've seen in the industry. However, the Lenovo Legion 5 is definitely a design not hard to appreciate either. A very clean look without any weird, flashy, out-of-place color schemes or anything like that. A very minimalistic, flat-looking design with a very simple, small Lenovo badge here in the bottom corner of the lid, and then an equally holographic looking material decks out the Legion branding on this laptop. Both laptops very attractive looking designs that I would have no problem taking out in virtually any setting. However, getting into more of the quality aspect as opposed to just simply aesthetics, we're definitely going to have to give this one to Lenovo here. Their chassis, their design, it's definitely got a bit more of a utilitarian, industrial kind of design to it where it just seems and feels a little bit more rugged and higher quality. HP did a lot of great things thinking out of the box with the Omen 15. However, one of those things resulting in the screen flex that so many people have really latched onto as one of their main concerns when buying the laptop. And quick sidebar, if you're interested in a short video on how the HP Omen 15 fares under various use cases and when and where it bends and flexes, be sure at the end of this video, take a look in the video description box down below. I'll be dropping a link to that video. Alright, and a quick rundown of the I/O from both laptops, what you can expect to be able to use in terms of expansion ports. And on the HP Omen 15, we have a DC barrel power connector followed by 1 gigabit Ethernet, a USB 3.0 port, an HDMI port, a headphone jack, and an SD card reader. On the other side of the HP Omen 15, we have a USB port followed by a mini display port and 2 additional USB 3.0 ports. Alright, and on the back of the Legion 5, we have a gigabit Ethernet port, followed by a Thunderbolt 3 port here on the Intel variant Legion 5, followed by 2 USB 3.0 ports, an HDMI port, there's our proprietary charger from Lenovo, and then on the left side of the laptop, 1 additional USB 3.0 port, a headphone jack, and finally 1 last additional USB 3.0 port on the right side of the laptop. Alright, and as for the keyboard decks, lovers of full-size keyboards with number pads will definitely gravitate towards the Legion 5. However, on the HP Omen 15, I noticed slightly larger surface area on the keycaps, perhaps a little bit more of an ergonomic experience there with the HP. However, in terms of tactile feedback, responsiveness, and travel, I can definitely say without a doubt I prefer the Lenovo Legion 5. In terms of the trackpad, they are both Windows Precision, but the surface area on the HP Omen 15 trackpad is larger. And for screen quality, the HP Omen 15 takes the win here with a brighter, more color accurate and higher refresh rate display, coming in at 144Hz versus the 120Hz refresh rate display on the Legion 5. So in terms of specifications on paper, it's a very clear win for the HP Omen 15. However, I can definitely tell you the Lenovo Legion 5 screen was in no way, shape, or form a bad experience. It definitely was fully immersive, and I was able to enjoy using this laptop for both gaming and productivity. The HP Omen 15 was easily able to pull off 6 to 7 hour workloads, no problem, while the Lenovo Legion 5 was around that 4 to 5 hour threshold we so commonly have seen with gaming laptops over the years, with a 60 watt-hour battery in the Legion 5 and a 70 watt-hour in the at least Ryzen variant that I had from the HP Omen 15. The win clearly goes to the HP Omen 15 for battery life. Let's talk about thermals. Lenovo definitely did their best to innovate here, and what they have accomplished here is definitely enough to earn a thumbs up from me. We have a brand new mesh design here with a Legion 5. It's enough open airflow that you can see through the vents. However, you can definitely tell there is a very fine mesh inside to keep dust out. And when taking a look inside of the chassis, right away I could tell that Lenovo was definitely concerned about dust getting into this chassis. So what we can see here is a protective dust filter here across the entire vent here on the bottom, with only cutouts for increased airflow directly over our two fan spots for the CPU and GPU. I love it. One thing that kind of bothered me was, notice here, our extra NVMe slot here for adding an extra SSD to the user actually out of the box comes blocked to the user. And what we can see here is to the left of the slot where our NVMe SSD is supposed to lie, there is some type of 2.5-inch drive casing here. And we can see here, I've taken out the empty hard drive shell from the 2.5-inch drive bay. And now I can use this space to plug in a 2.5-inch NVMe SSD. Underneath that square metal shield to the right, we have two DDR4 RAM slots. And getting into the benchmarks, our side-by-side comparisons from past mark performance test, the HP Omen 15 pulled off a score of almost 20,000 for the CPU mark score, and that's attributed to their extra cores on their Ryzen processor, while the Intel 10th generation CPU here, even with this excellent thermally designed chassis here, Intel pulled off about 14,000 for their CPU mark score. We have about 670 for 2D graphics mark from the Omen 15 and 940 from the Legion 5. For 3D graphics mark, about 9,000 from the HP Omen 15, while we have about 10,500 from the Legion 5. For the memory mark performance, we have about 2,600 from the Omen 15 and 2,400 from the Legion 5. And for the disk mark score, we have about 24,000 from the Omen 15 and about 29,000 from the Legion 5. So what that tells me is the HP Omen 15 here is going to benefit us in multi-core workloads. However, something with this chassis in terms of the way the heat is being thermally dissipated, we are seeing clear advantages here in the graphics performance. So the 1660 Ti is being much better thermally managed and giving us increased graphical scores from the Passmark performance test. And taking a look at Adobe Premiere, a 2-minute 4K video clip encoded with H.265 compression, completed in about 50 seconds on the Omen 15, while on the Legion 5 taking 1 minute and 8 seconds. And a 9-minute 4K clip was exported on the Ryzen Omen 15 in 3 minutes and 49 seconds, while taking a whopping 5 minutes and 9 seconds on the Legion 5. So we are clearly seeing gains from that Ryzen CPU when it comes to video editing. All right, I was a little bit crunched on time this past week, so here's a quick short list of some games that I managed to benchmark. And what we can see with Call of Duty Warzone, I was getting about 110 FPS on the Legion 5, while our Omen 15 averaged around 100 FPS. In Destiny 2, frame rates were identical between the two laptops, while the BioShock Infinite benchmark tool running at ultra-level settings yielded an extra 30 frames per second on the Legion 5. And taking a look at Ada64, stress testing our CPU and GPU, our CPU package temperature very comfortably sat at about 88 degrees Celsius, almost never crossing that 90 degrees Celsius mark, with an average core clock speed here of 3.64 gigahertz. I did notice some light power limit throttling to maintain those low temperatures, but fortunately no thermal throttling. You can see on the bottom right corner of the HP Omen 15 green spots around the WASD keys, as well as the right side of the laptop where you may rest your hands. What do we see here on the top left with the Legion 5? We can see that red hot zone getting over to that left side of the keyboard where it is starting to get noticeable on the WASD keys. On the right side of the chassis, it does cover a significant portion of the right side of the keyboard. So under multi-core workloads while doing two-handed typing, the heat on the keyboard deck is definitely noticeable on the Legion 5. Alright guys, so I hope this video gave you a good idea of what type of performance and gaming experience you can get out of both of these laptops, the use cases that both laptops might be good for, and if there's one takeaway I'd like you guys all to have from today's video is that no matter which of these two laptops you go with, you are probably not going to regret it. These are two very innovative, excellent thermally designed chassis that, at least in terms of a temperature-wise assessment, are both very likely to give you very good, long-lasting user experiences. As it stands for now, our Ryzen variant Omen 15, better for multi-core workloads, our power user, CPU-intensive productivity all-rounder users, and we have the Legion 5 Intel variant here, which clearly has an advantage when it comes to our GPU performance. Chalk it up to thermals or performance governors, but something from the Legion 5 is giving us a slight boost in terms of graphical output from our 1660 Ti. However, significantly longer times with productivity workloads like we saw from Adobe Premiere exports. Alright, now that about does it for today's video. I invite you to take a look in the video description down below for links to everything I mentioned, as well as my social media handles, my Discord server, and my Twitch channel. Both very good places to follow me and hit me up, or to just hang out and have a great time. As always, thanks for watching. Now PortoDev out. I'm just dying to see what kind of performance we would see out of the Ryzen variant of this laptop. What's this, guys? Subscribe, drop a like or a comment down below, share this video with 10 friends or family, or have bad luck for 10 years.